Hello. It really is my pleasure to introduce Chani R. Chani R is a freshman, is the only freshman in the group, and in spite of the fact that she had to adjust to the world of SKA, which is both exciting and sometimes really overwhelming, she really took on this project and worked really very hard and tolerated all the things that happen in science, including endless delays because of the process and the procedure, and she just kept at it. And based on her interests and I guess my expertise, we pursued the impact of technology on children, particularly their learning style. And so without any further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Chani.
Hello everyone, my name is Chani R. And I just want to say thank you so much to my amazing mentor, Dr. Hindi Mermelstein. She works at NYU School of Medicine and at Northwell, and she has a practice in Great Neck where she works as a physician. She's from New York, and some of her hobbies include gardening and reading. So my project is called Technology, and this is a clinical research project. And the reason I chose this project is because I'm very interested in the effect of, technology specifically, smartphones, tablets, television, on the development of children. And my hypothesis was if children are exposed to excessive amounts of screen time, then, how will that impact their a few things. Number one, their attention span and their learning styles. And the foundation of the experiment was a 2x2 research design and survey, where I tested for two things. Number one, the first variable was, what it was that they were doing, which in my case was the actual electronic device. And the second thing that I was testing for was how long they were on it. So in my case, I had two groups of students. One group of students were only exposed to technology for less than an hour a day, and the other group of students were exposed to screen time between 3 and 5 hours. So here's my experiment. Step one. For the first group of students that have excessive exposure to technology, I read them a book and I showed them pictures. And I asked them 3 questions, and there was a 100% accuracy rate. The children got all the questions correct. Then, when you have either piece of technology such as iPhone or tablet, there's always 2 factors. Number one, you have the auditory factor, which is what you're hearing, which could be either the sound of the movie, the background noise of a video game or something, and then you also have the visual factor, which is either the actual, the actors in a movie or the graphics in the video game. And since children that are constantly exposed to screen time are, very used to that, I decided what's going to happen when I take away the visual factor. So for the second time, when I read the children a book, I did not show them any pictures. And what happened was the children were unable to cooperate because they could not pay attention for long enough. And this resulted in them, not answering all of the questions that I asked them correctly. I think there's only, out of the, altogether is 6 questions, 4.5 questions were correct. So only about a 75% approval rate versus the 100%. And I repeated this experiment with children that are exposed to very little technology, less than an hour a day. And not surprisingly, they had in both tests, they had an 100% accuracy rate. And this confirmed my hypothesis because the children that were exposed to less technology were definitely able to cooperate better, and they were able to actually pay attention. So these are the 2 books that I read them. The children that I tested were around 5 years old, and I needed an age-appropriate book. So one is called 10 Little Rubber Ducks by Aaron Carl, and one is called The Mixed Up Chameleon. And in order to perform the testing necessary on human subjects, the experiment had to be approved by the Institutional Review Board Committee, otherwise known as the IRB. And this committee that reviewed the ethics of the proposed experiment to ensure that the rights and welfare of the children that I was testing were protected. In addition, because the children were so young, I needed their parental consent from each parent. So each parent had to sign a permissions form saying that they are approved of the test that I was going to be giving to their children. And these were the two main factors why I was only able to conduct the demo, because both of these processes did take very long. This is actually all the paperwork needed to obtain the IRB. Okay. These are just a few, no, I didn't take away oxygen, just screen time, just like a funny meme. Okay, and in the future, I would definitely do a few things differently. First, I would, begin the process of obtaining the IRB and test subjects sooner, so I'd be able to conduct a larger experiment. So I would use, a larger group of students. I would test different age groups to see, how screen time, affects, different ages differently. Also, for my control group, the children only had 1 hour of screen time, but I would like to find either, for my next test, either Amish or Hasidic people, where they would have about 0 hours of screen time. So there would definitely be a larger contrast. And also, I would definitely like to use a more complicated set of questions, because in a lot of the tests that I did have, there wasn't 100% accuracy rate. So I want to see if that would change, and I would be able to see that if I use a harder set of questions. Here's my magical experience. So my favorite part of magic is where you actually get to do things that you are interested in. For example, I would like to become a pediatrician, and in this experience, I got to interact directly with children. And also, having a mentor allowed me to, give me new perspectives on, technology and science and stuff, which I would not have been able to get had I not been doing this program. So thank you. A few lessons that I learned. Number one is that a lot of different factors have to go correctly in order to form one cohesive project. And also the concept of nature versus nurture, where there's so many things that go into a child's development, and it's not only what they're gifted with, but also what they're exposed to and what you expose them to, and that has a direct influence on how they turn out. One challenge that I definitely did have with my experiment was finding a control group, because in this day and age, majority of parents are exposing their children to excessive amounts of technology. And thank you.